Yeah, 7:24 on your Friday on Breakfast Television. Sid Sixero is back on Monday. We got Tracy Moore, Devo Brown, and Meredith Shaw with you this morning. Cheers to Friday.
Cheers to Friday. We made it.
Cheers to Friday. We definitely made it. You made it too. And speaking of cheers, that might get a little bit more, shall we say, convenient. Announcement happening this morning at 10:30 a.m. This story, a City News exclusive. Richard Southern breaking it last night. You will soon be able to buy beer, wine, and ready-to-drink cocktails at convenience stores, gas stations, and corner stores. So City News, again, exclusively has learned that Premier Ford is speeding up the push to expand alcohol sales across Ontario by the fall. Previously, this was linked up to happen in 2026. And the beer store, this is definitely of note, will also be paid taxpayer dollars to keep some of the locations afloat, shall we say, with the difference of sales for the recycling and the bottle return program. So this is big news. Again, the announcement coming up at 10:30 a.m. this morning. But Devo, thoughts on the accessibility, availability of ready-to-drink cocktails and alcohol?
I mean, I think we've all discussed it where it's happening in other places. You know, we're a little bit behind schedule when it comes to that, I guess. But I do like the access for smaller communities that might not have an LCBO or might not have a beer store nearby. So to give them the opportunity to do that. Now, this is where, I preface everything responsibly, right? Like, that's what we're all talking about. Everything's done responsibly, not, you know, people are talking about, well, what about someone who has addiction? You know, it's always in their face and things like that. When it's done responsibly, it's good. But I don't like putting the onus, and I mentioned this during You Sound Off, on just a regular store owner who now has to ID someone. Is this a fake ID? Are you this actual person? Are you, or do I even care enough? Oh, you slipped me 50, now I'm gonna let you go. Like, if you're underage, that's what I mean. So don't fool yourself, this will happen. You know what I mean? People will try and cut corners on this. So,
and you're right, are people trained for that? Are they wanting to be able to have that kind of responsibility?
Right, so I think that to me is my biggest concern for underage drinking and those corners being cut, because now as a store owner, I've got 35 customers, but I got to check in on someone's ID to make sure at the same time that they are 19 plus. So I think that just causes a few issues there.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Some teenagers in your house?
I do. This is my answer is very off-brand. I'm not into it. You know, if you had asked me probably even like 3 years ago, I would be like, decriminalize everything, have everything available everywhere. Now there's a weed shop on every corner. And I don't feel like access is the issue. As a matter of fact, as soon as I saw this story, I'm like, is there an election happening soon? Because for some reason, whenever there's an election, it's like free beer or let's give you access to wine. I don't think that's what we need right now. I don't think we need more access to more, you know, substances that take us out of reality, because there's a lot of escapism happening now because life is, I think, rough for a lot of people. So do we need increased access? I don't think so. Yes, I have a couple of teenagers. Am I thinking about them a little bit? I think we have enough places to get our alcohol or to get our fix, and I don't necessarily feel like we need to expand that. And I would always look at why. Why now? Why is this coming down now? Is there a reason for it?
And the speed of it, because it was expected to come in 2026, but now it seems like it'll be happening this fall.
Yeah, and whenever you see like government band together to push something through quicker, it's like there's a lot of things we need done, but this is the thing that's going to get done? I don't know. I got a little bit of side eye for that. Will I go to the corner store and get a bottle of wine? Yes, I will. At the same time, I don't think we need it.
Two things could be true at the same time, right, Tracy? I mean, for me, we talked about it on the show, I think last week or even the week before. They're cracking down and making more stringent rules on drinking and driving, which I think is incredibly important. And we all shared some quite personal stories when we talked about this on the show. So at the same time that they are increasing regulations surrounding drinking and driving, we're also, as a province, deciding to make alcohol more accessible. I'm confused at those two things happening literally almost concurrently, and what the actual messaging is to us as citizens of this province.
It's very confusing.
It is a little bit confusing. Yeah, it's confusing.
Yeah, and I think the access is different here when it's Toronto-centric or GTA-centric. And that's why I'm thinking about those smaller communities.
Oh, you're
and that's why, you know what I mean? You have one corner store, you have one gas station, you want to be able to go and grab it there.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I think they can opt out too, the convenience stores and the gas stations, if they don't want that hassle.
Right.
And say, no, we don't want to do this. And if I'm a business too, if I know someone's coming to grab a drink, well, now they might be coming to grab a snack. So
good
they do that.
business.
So they're spending
Sure.
some money in my shop. So
Yeah.
maybe you're helping these business owners at the same time. Maybe
Yeah.
that's the catch.
good side.
That's
Yeah,
how we're
yeah,
going to do it. Like,
yeah.
we're
Yeah, it's the
helping
silver lining.
businesses,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, cheers. Cheers
Yeah.
to that.
Right.
That announcement expected to come today at 10:30 a.m.
Cool.
You can have your say, Breakfast Television, feedback at breakfasttelevision.ca. And coming up on this show, celebrating, I'm so excited for this, biodiversity for the